Oh, alright gamers. So, I saw this video on my recommended and I figured, well, fuck it, let's give this one a try because it's about Halo and it's about kind of the current state of franchises. But I think the guy in this says a lot of things which I think are very damning of the modern, shall we say, gaming sphere. So, I'm gonna be reacting to this and giving my thoughts and yeah, we will go from there. We will go from there. No hate towards this guy though. No hate towards this guy because I think that's obviously wrong. So
It's just because I like Halo. Yeah, let's get into it. So first off, I just want to say that I think it's silly to make these type of videos, but I also think that it's unproductive for a couple reasons.
why is it unproductive? People are making videos saying this and this is why I've stopped playing Halo. This is why I no longer play this franchise, and they are perfectly within their right to say that. I mean, I'm sure a lot of these videos, a lot of which I haven't seen, but I have seen it. I've seen quite a few of them, and I really don't understand why it would be unproductive for someone to say this and this is why I've stopped playing this video game. Like they're perfectly within their right to do so. I don't like it's like saying this is why I no longer buy fucking Galaxy chocolate bars. Like what's wrong with that? You know, it's just sharing their thoughts, man. Like come on.
One is the lack of impact. Now, it's no
I don't think there's a lack of impact considering that like in Halo Infinite numbers are like at a record low. Like I don't know what you mean, bro. Like what?
secret that Halo Infinite has an extremely low player count.
So they clearly are having an impact then. This is like super negative. What's the term again? I'm gonna sound like a pretentious ass. Not double entendre. I don't know. But the point being is like, dude, like clearly they're having an impact. like what?
Right now compared to other games. I think
Now I will say that shotgun in the gameplay looks sick. Like I have played a bit of Infinite's multiplayer. I didn't play Halo 5. I don't give a shit about Halo 5. I'm quite a new fan to this franchise. I played I got the MCC on Steam, and I played Halo 1 on my friend's Xbox original. But I'm a pretty massive fan of the Bungie era Halo. I think they're incredible video games, and I even have a bit of a soft spot for Halo 4. It's not a great game. It's not even a particularly good game, but I enjoyed playing it. But I played Infinite, and it just didn't feel like a Halo game, and didn't look like a Halo game, and I didn't even bother with 5. And I've heard a lot of things about 343 that are not very good, and seen how they kind of manage things. And I mean, have you seen Halo 5 story? Like, it's just, yeah, it's just shockingly bad. I think it's perfectly, people again are perfectly within their right to say this, and this franchise sucks.
it's like under 4K on Steam charts, and then even if it's 3 times that amount.
I will say I do like this thing you have in the corner. This thing, I think this is a really cool kind of original piece of editing. Probably quite difficult to do. So props to you, my man, for that. I think that's quite clever. So
Playing on Xbox, it's still a pretty low population, so it's not like you're begging and pleading for 100,000 people to boycott a game. It's not like Call of Duty or anything like that with these other massive player bases, even though Call of Duty is falling off a cliff as well.
I mean, as it should. I mean, have you seen? I mean, Call of Duty has been shit since like 2012, in my opinion. And that's a bit of a spicy take, but like the last COD game that I loved was Black Ops 2, and I haven't played any of the new ones. I don't give a shit about new ones. And there's some really dodgy shit if you look into Black Ops 6, especially like with them always having always online DRM and other stuff like that. It's just so creepy. Like I don't, yeah, not fun, mate, not fun.
But I think the time to boycott has been happening. It's been 3 years. It's not like Microsoft or Halo Studios doesn't know that Halo Infinite missed the mark. And if the goal of this stuff is to affect the decision making of a studio,
I think it kind of is. I mean, it's called vote with your wallet for a reason. Like, dude, like, say Galaxy comes out with a new chocolate bar. What the fuck am I going on about Galaxy chocolate bars? I don't even eat chocolate. But okay, let's roll with a bit. Say Galaxy comes out with a chocolate bar, and it's shit. Okay, it sucks. And people say, I don't like that. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy that bar chocolate or whatever. People go, oh, well, that's not very nice. Why are you doing that for? It's like, because they don't like it. Like, well, it's quite simple logic, mate. Like, what?
Like Halo Studios or even Microsoft, another small group of players not playing isn't really going to make any significant leeway.
It really, really is. I mean, it really is. I mean, if one person makes a video saying, I don't want to play Halo anymore because I think Microsoft have ruined it, and then that video gets like, 50,000 views, there's going to be a bunch of people, maybe a couple hundred, maybe even a couple thousand people who watch that and say, yeah, I agree with this guy, this game sucks, and then they won't play. And then that's, what's the term, death by 1,000 cuts? It's pretty much what happens in these things. And again, they're perfectly within their right to do so.
If the goal of all of this is to quote-unquote punish the developers, I think that that's also silly. What more?
I mean, why? Why is it silly? They made a video game that people don't like, and 343 have a very, very, very dodgy history of some very questionable practices. I mean, we're talking like, one of the developers laughing at someone criticizing someone else, the microtransactions in MCC and Infinite. I mean, I played Halo Infinite and I just saw how bloody much they just shove microtransactions down your fucking throat constantly. And it's like, I understand that's Microsoft, but 343 are definitely guilty of this. There's literally footage of them like being like, yeah, microtransactions, we like microtransactions are fun. It's like, oh dear. And yeah, they just consistently and repeatedly have made bad decisions with this franchise. I think people are perfectly within their right to be like, listen, this studio sucks.
I feel like you're advocating. I feel like targeting the game or the developers or the studio or even Microsoft rather than advocating for constructive dialogue and trying to support.
I mean, if I buy a game and it sucks, and then I say, listen, this game sucks, and then the developers, and then I point out a lot of problems with the game that could easily be fixed, and then I find a video of one of the developers watching my video and going, ha ha ha, this guy's a noob, lol. And then I went, well, fuck this developer, I'm not supporting them anymore. I think I'd be perfectly within my right to have that reaction. And that's literally what has happened. There is a video of a guy, one of the 343 developers, laughing about someone having real problems with Halo 3. Like, this is a video that exists. You can find it on YouTube, and it's not the only one. There's loads of examples of this. And, like, you don't think people aren't within their right to be like, listen, these people suck. They made a bad product, people are criticizing them for it. It's not rocket science.
Changes and improve the game is even more lackluster. I think it's a big reason why game studios and developers shy away from interacting with the community.
No, they shy away from interacting with the community because a lot of them don't take criticism well. Like, this is, like, look at the success of Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Kingdom Come Deliverance, God, so many video games I can't even think of, but those are video games where the developers had and forged a very strong relationship with their fans and their community fan base because they made a good game. Even Cyberpunk, which initially started out as, it launched like shit, the developers were, thought it was shit, and they had to apologize and stuff. they kept at it. They didn't just go, lol, why are these people criticizing us, lol? They went, listen, we're sorry, we made a video game that we had problems, and yeah, it doesn't, it doesn't excuse what happened, but it like, Cyberpunk is a fucking great video game now, because they stuck with it, because they actually listened to feedback and they went, yeah, sorry we fucked up. I guarantee you, if 343 came out and said, listen, sorry, we fucked up, we've mismanaged this franchise, Halo is kind of in a dumpster and it's sort of our fault, and we'd like to apologise, and we will be just, from tomorrow we'll be implementing all your feedback and criticism as soon as we can. I guarantee you, and they did that, these videos would stop. I guarantee it. Because people like when people have positive feedback and actually treat them with respect. Because, it's not like as if they're just handing this stuff out for free. Okay, yeah, Infinite is free on Steam, but, well, the multiplayer is, but the Master Chief Collection, that's like, at least 40 quid. When you didn't get it on a sale. Yeah, people spend their hard-earned money on this shit, and it's like, come on, man, what are you doing?
Cross all games, because how volatile the fan base can get, and again, we're in I have cut my Halo Infinite playing time back a ton, just because I've been burnt out and whatnot. There's only really Hero to go for me. I'm 500 games away from it. So I'm just playing when I feel the urge to play. But I'm never going to tell anybody what to do with their time or with their money. If they see a cosmetic in the shop and they want it, go for it.
That's such a terrible... it's attitudes like this that are the reason why video games have gotten so bad. And look, I'm not attacking this guy. I'm sure he's a nice chap. I really don't want this to be a personal attack. So if you somehow watch this dude, this isn't a personal attack on you in any way, shape, or form, but it's this attitude that is bad. If you want something, just get it. I'm not gonna complain, except that this kind of complacency is the reason why video games are so bad. It's the reason why people just getting complacent and saying, this is fine, is the reason why video games have gotten so bad. It's the reason why we have fucking companies like Sweet Baby and fucking microtransactions, and just everything that's wrong with the video game industry is because people, especially gamers, got complacent, and they just sat down and they went, yeah, this is fine. And I know it's not fucking fine. It's not fine that we have a fucking company that forces in awful, shitty politics into a video game when they don't belong. It's not fine that we have fucking microtransactions out the ass. It's not fine that we have game developers that treat the audience like children and morons and don't take their criticism seriously. It's not fine that people are leaving en masse. None of this is fine. And the fact that you act like it is unfortunately a big part of why Halo is dying. Because people are just too complacent, or they're coping too hard. And look, I'm sure the game looks fun, and I have played it and it is fun, but it's like Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 is a fun video game because it's just Overwatch 1. But I'm not playing it anymore because I can't stand the way in which Blizzard and Activision have treated it. And even though I sometimes be like, oh man, I really want to play Overwatch again, I'm not going to, because I hate the direction they've taken they've added in too many things, they've lost the balance, they've destroyed everything that made Overwatch good. And even though it does still have that kind of elements of, when it was still great, that doesn't matter until they either literally just reverse Overwatch 2 and just go back to Overwatch 1, or a game comes out that is just Overwatch but better, which is Marvel Rivals as far as I've heard, which I haven't played but I will be playing very soon. Then I think that people are perfectly within their right to say, listen, I'm not playing this anymore, and people are voting with their wallet, and that is, again, and you can't say to these people, oh, you're just negative, it's not doing anything, it's making things worse. No, the developers make this shit worse. 343 have had every chance to make Halo great. They made Halo 5 sucks. Halo Infinite sucks, and 343 have done nothing to improve the feedback loop. It's the same thing with Star Wars and Disney. Disney have ran Star Wars into the ground, and the people criticising it have been labelled as toxic and alt-right and bigots and blah 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 blah, everything you could think of under the sun, because they criticise a film. And as a result, Star Wars is now dead. This is the exact same thing that's happening. People have criticised Halo and said, listen, we don't like the 343's lore, we don't like the gameplay, we don't like how they're handling the franchise, and 343 have just gone, oh lol, you guys are dumb. And this is why things are so bad. You know, if you want Halo to be great again, you gotta start criticising this company. Because they're not your friend, and they might have made a game that you enjoy, but you always gotta demand better. And people don't, and that's why video games have gotten so shit. Yeah, I'm probably gonna stop this video here. I do know I have already watched this video, so I kind of know how the rest of it goes. Sort of the same sort of points, but to this guy I just want to say, like, look man, I'm not trying to take away your enjoyment of Halo Infinite. It is still fun, and I can see why you enjoy playing it, but you have to understand that people aren't making these videos because they're grifters or because they don't believe what they're saying. They do believe that Halo sucks, and they do believe that Halo is bad, and they really just... People need to realise that people have legit reasons why they say and do these things. And if you want video games to get better, you gotta demand better from them.